In the small Irish village of Bellewstown, people still remember a man who pulled off a $600,000 daylight robbery. What's astonishing is that he had no gun in his hand and no mask on his face. After this operation, he walked around freely, yet the police couldn't touch a hair on his head because everything he did was completely within the law. This man's name was Barney Curley, a mysterious and cunning gambler. So cunning that bookies would shut down the moment they heard his name. He used his mind to find the weaknesses in the system and turn them into his weapon. This is the incredible story from 1975, the Yellow Sam Betting Coup. June 26th, 1975. Bellewstown, a small village 26 kilometers from Dublin. A horse race was underway. The race course was buzzing with excitement. People were placing bets on different horses, and bookies were taking their positions, but Barney Curley was nowhere to be seen. He was hiding inside the race course, crouched behind thorny bushes, waiting for the race to begin. The reason he was hiding? The bookies. If they found out Barney was there, or that his horse was running, they would immediately go on alert. At that time, Barney's name was notorious in the gambling world. Whenever he showed up, even just spotted on the grounds, bookies knew something was off. But the move he was about to make that day was the biggest and most daring of his life. Barney Curley was a man who had not even spared his own father. His father, Charlie Curley, trained greyhounds and gambled on their races. Just before a race, Charlie would drug his slowest dog to make it run faster, then place all his money on it. That's how he cheated the bookies. Barney knew all about his father's scheme. One day, when he was just 15 years old, Charlie told him to feed the dog meat laced with medicine, but Barney deliberately didn't feed it to the dog. The next day, that dog lost the race. Charlie took a big loss. But one person was very happy: Barney. He had quietly fed the drugged meat to a different dog and placed his bets on that one. By betraying his own father, Barney earned his first money, equivalent to $500 today. So if a man starts his gambling career by cheating his own father, you can imagine what he was capable of with the rest of the world. In horse betting, a punter places money on horses. If his horse wins, he gets back double, triple, or more. The odds are set by the bookie. If a horse is slow, its odds are the highest, 1 to 20. Put in 1, win 20 if it wins. The real jackpot goes to someone who bets on the slowest horse, and that horse actually wins. 20 times the money. Charlie spent his life making slow greyhounds fast with drugs, and fast ones slow. That's how he fooled the bookies. Then in 1956, disaster struck. He drugged his slow dog and placed everything on it, but fate had other plans. The dog not only lost, it fell and broke its spine. Barney was 16 at the time. That one loss pushed the entire family into debt. Barney dropped out of school and worked in a factory just to help repay his father's debts. For 18 months, both worked day and night. Everything they earned went straight back to the bookies. This was when Barney saw the dark side of gambling, up close. After that, he tried many things. Nothing worked. A betting shop. A pub. Music management. He even turned to smuggling, running razor blades across the border. But one day gunfire broke out, and Barney was frightened off for good. His heart always remained in horse racing. So finally, he stepped into the professional gambling world. By 1975, he had made quite a name for himself. Wins, losses, and everything in between. Bookies were so wary of him, they'd refuse to let him play, or instantly drop the odds on any horse he touched. This time, Barney was $12,000 in debt, and there was only one way out. That's when a devious idea was born in his mind. He contacted an old friend and asked for a horse with a very poor track record. The horse was named Yellow Sam, a nickname that had once belonged to Barney's own father. This horse's record was terrible. In its last 9 races, it finished worse than 8th every time. Barney adopted a clever strategy. He deliberately raced Yellow Sam in conditions that didn't suit it, making its official rating even worse. Eventually, it became eligible for handicap racing. But the reality, Yellow Sam was actually fast on firm ground. Barney had him deliberately under-handicapped, so when the real race came, he could run at full speed. He selected the Mount Hanover Handicap Hurdle at Bellewstown Racecourse, June 26, 1975. But what he'd done so far was only part of the plan. Bellewstown had only one public telephone booth. In those days, hours before a race, people across the country placed bets at betting shops. The shops stayed connected with on course bookies. If too much money piled up on one horse, the shops would tell the bookies who'd lower the odds. But the rule was, once the race starts, odds are locked. Barney figured if he could block that one phone line at the last moment, the bookies on track would lose contact with the betting shops. Yellow Sam's odds would stay at 20-1 until the very end. He picked 300 people across Ireland who would go at the last moment and place bets on Yellow Sam. He gave each of them cash envelopes, 50 to 300. For this operation, Barney gathered $15,000, every last penny of his life savings. If this failed, prison was waiting. Then came race day. 25 minutes before the race, a man named Benny arrived at the public phone booth. He was Barney's most trusted ally. His job, take over that phone. He picked up the receiver and started sobbing. He told the queue his aunt was dying. He desperately needed to speak with her. For 25 full minutes, Benny wept and talked. The moment the race began, Benny put down the phone, walked out crying, and vanished. Meanwhile, Barney's 300 men across the country had already placed their bets on Yellow Sam. The odds stayed at 20-1, locked. Betting managers frantically tried to call the track. Every time, the line was busy. Barney himself, hidden in the bushes with binoculars, watched as Yellow Sam flew past every hurdle. Even the favorite, Silver Road, looked helpless. Yellow Sam won by 2.5 lengths. When the bookies realized what had happened, there was uproar. They found Benny. He just smiled and said, "It's a miracle. My aunt has recovered." Barney's total investment, $15,000. His winnings, $300,000, worth around $3.5 million in today's money. The bookies paid in £1 notes, 108 sacks of cash. The story became headlines across Ireland and the UK. Barney Curley, a legend overnight. He hadn't broken a single law. He simply found a weakness in the system and used it. Bookies changed their rules after this. A 30-minute window became mandatory for large bets. Barney pulled off more coups in 2010 and 2014, proving his mind was just as sharp at 70. Barney Curley passed away on May 23, 2019, aged 81. The racing world called him a genius. The Robin Hood of racing, a man who outwitted the system and spent that money on the poor. Some call him a criminal, others call him a genius. But history will forever remember him as the man who made the impossible possible. If you enjoyed this story, please like and share this video. Drop a comment. Which part surprised you most? The 300-man network across Ireland, the fake phone call, or the 108 sacks of cash? Subscribe so you never miss a story like this, because trust us, there are many more where this came from. Until next time, stay curious, stay smart, and remember, the greatest weapon in the world is not a gun, it's a brilliant, fearless mind. See you in the next video. End of spoken script.